So just share the screen here. So inshallah, I'm going to read it again. I want you all to read it after me. And then everybody will get a chance to read a few lines. And then we go into the exercises. But before we go to the exercises, sorry, after we finish our reading, we're going to go through the explanation of the second half. I believe we would have done the first piece last week. So we're going to go over the balance this week, inshallah. So we start off by reading as usual. Bismillah. So say after me. الدرس الحادي عشر في الحافلة الأول السلام عليكم. الثاني وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. الأول ما اسمك يا أخي؟ الثاني اسمي عبد الله. وما اسمك؟ الأول اسمي فيصل. أطالب أنت يا عبد الله؟ يا عبد الله. عبد الله. نعم. فيصل. أين تدرس يا أخي؟ عبد الله. أدرس بجامعة الرياض. فيصل. في أي كلية تدرس؟ عبد الله. أدرس في كلية الهندسة. Right, so remember, just to refresh our minds, we are dealing with the present tense verbs. Okay? And we said present tense verbs have different things which we added on the beginning. All right? So look at this, focus on the verb darasa, yadrusu, tadrusu, adrusu. Okay? So here, Faisal is asking Abdullah, fi ayyi kulliyatin tadrusu? Which faculty do you study? Abdullah replies, adrusu, ana, I, ana, adrusu. Right? Adrusu fi kulliyatil handasati. Okay? So tadrusu, adrusu. Faisalun في أي سنة تدرس؟ عبد الله. أدرس في السنة الثانية. فيصل. أتعرف المهندس سلمان؟ عبد الله. طبعا هو أستاذي، هو أحسن مدرس في الكلية. فيصل. من هؤلاء الفتية التي معك؟ كأنهم إخوتك. عبد الله. نعم، هؤلاء إخوتي، لي 4 إخوة و3 أخوات. فيصل. أين يدرس هؤلاء؟ عبد الله. أما إخوتي فكلهم يدرسون. أما إخوتي فكلهم يدرسون بالجامعة. Again. أما إخوتي كلهم يدرسون في الجامعة. As for my brothers, all of them are studying at university. As for my brothers, أما إخوتي فكلهم, so all of them يدرسون are studying في الجامعة at university. All right? You see after me again. أما إخوتي فكلهم يدرسون بالجامعة. عيسى وهو أكبر مني يدرس في كلية الطب. وإبراهيم يدرس في كلية التجارة. وإسحاق يدرس في كلية الآداب. وإسماعيل يدرس في كلية العلوم. وهؤلاء الثلاثة أصغر مني. وأما وأما الأخوات وأما أخوات وأما الأخوات فيدرسن في المدرسة المتوسطة. في المدرسة المتوسطة. So you also know by now, المدرسة المتوسطة means middle school, middle school. All right? You know the word ummatan wasata, the middle nation or balanced nation, right? So from that wasata you have mutawassita, right? Mutawassita. So it means middle, right? So al-madrasatil mutawassitati, the middle school, right? So في المدرسة المتوسطة in middle school, right? Going on, زينب تدرس في السنة الأولى. وسلمى تدرس في السنة الثانية. وليلى تدرس في السنة الثالثة. فيصل في أي مدرسة في أي مدرسة تدرس أخواتك؟ عبد الله يدرسن في مدرسة يدرسن في مدرسة خالد بن الوليد للبنات بمكة. Again. يدرسن في مدرسة خالد بن الوليد للبنات بمكة. فيصل أين تسكنون أنتم؟ أين تسكنون أنتم؟ عبد الله إخوتي يسكنون في مخاجع الجامعة. أما أنا فأسكن مع قريب لي. فيصل أمتزوج أنت يا عبد الله؟ أمتزوج أنت يا عبد الله؟ عبد الله: لا، لست متزوجا. فيصل: ما عنوانك؟ عبد الله: هذه بطاقتي فيها عنواني. فيصل: أشكرك يا أخي، أنا مسرور بلقائك. بلقاء بلقاء بلقائك. أنا مسرور بلقائك. أنا سأنزل أنا سأنزل في المحطة القادمة. أنا سأنزل في المحطة القادمة. في المح... في المحطة القادمة. عبد الله: في أمان الله وإلى اللقاء. السائق لفيصل: هذا الباب للدخول. يا أخي، النزول من هناك. هذا باب الدخول. هذا الباب للدخول. هذا الباب للدخول. يا أخي، النزول من هناك. All right, so okay. All right, so who's gonna go first? الدرس الهادي عشرة. الثاني. طالب أنت. يا أخي. All right. Okay, so just right up to here. For those who didn't hear, so anybody want to volunteer for the next piece? فيصل في أي كلية تدرس؟ Who go next? في السنة الثانية. Okay, so I want somebody to start from the next page.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
فيصل، من هؤلاء الفتيات الذين معك؟ كأنهم إخوتك. عبد الله: نعم، هؤلاء إخوتي. لي 4 إخوة وثلاث أخ وثلاث أخوتي. فيصل: أين يدرس هؤلاء؟ عبد الله: أما إخوتي فكلهم يدرسون في الجامعة. عيسى: وهو أكبر مني، يدرس في كلية الطب. في كلية الطب. وإبراهيم يدرس في كلية تاجرة.
التجارة.
التجارة.
Right, so this one, let's pause there, Zakaria. So
Yeah.
sometimes in some scripts, they put the kasra below the shadda. So some of us might be accustomed to that. Once you see it over there, that everything is a fatha, right? But the shadda, the kasra below the shadda, is a kasra, right? So some scripts, they have that, right? So if you see this shadda, with the kasra below it is a kasra, right? So it's kulliyatit T, kulliyatit tijarati. Now, Ahsan, Akmil. Go ahead.
وإبراهيم يدرس في كلية التجارة. وإسحاق يدرس في كلية الآداب. وإسماعيل يدرس في كلية علوم. وهؤلاء الثلاثة أصغر مني. وأما الأخوة فيدرسون في
أخوات.
المدرسة.
إن الأخوات.
أما الأخوات يدرسون في المدرسة المتوسطة. زينب تدرس في السنة الأولى. سلمى تدرس في السنة الثانية. وليلى تدرس في السنة الثالثة.
نعم. Anybody else want to take over? جزاك الله خير. Who's going next? Rashia, Sumaya, Imam. Who else we have there?
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
فيصل
يحيى نعم.
في أي مدرسة تدرس أخواتك؟ عبد الله: يدرسن في مدرسة خالد بن الوليد للبنات بمكة.
Mhm.
فيصل أين تسكنون أنتم عبد الله؟ إخوتي يسكنون في محاجع الجامعة، أما أنا فأسكن مع قريب لي. فيصل أمتزوج أنت يا عبد الله؟ لا، لست بمتزوج. فيصل ما عنوانك عبد الله؟ هذه بطاقتي فيها عنواني.
نعم.
فيصل أشكرك يا أخي. أنا مسرور أنا أنا مسرور بلقائك. أنا سأنزل في المحطة القادمة. عبد الله في في أمان الله، وإلى اللقاء.
في أمان الله.
في أمان الله، وإلى اللقاء. السائق لفيصل هذا الباب للدخول يا أخي. الن- النزول من هناك.
من هناك.
من هناك.
Wow. أحسنتم. Very good. Anybody else want to try reading from it up again? Going once, going twice. Nobody? All right. Bits goes off there. So you're going to go through again the meaning of the passage. I think we did the first part last week. Just take 1 minute and go through quickly. Adarsul Hadi Ashara, 11th lesson, Fil Hafilati, in the bus. First person said, Assalamu alaikum. Second person, Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First person asked, Masmuka ya akhi, what's your name, oh my brother? Second person replied, my name is Abdullah. Masmuka. And what is your name? Then the first person replied, Ismi Faisalun. My name is Faisal. Atalibun anta ya Abdullah. Are you a student, O Abdullah? Abdullah replies, Naam. Faisal asks again, Aina tadrusu ya akhi. Where do you study, O my brother? Abdullah replies, Ana, or rather, Adrusu. Bijami'at Riyadi. I study at the University of Riyadh. Faisal asks again, Fi ayyi kulliyatin tadrusu. What faculty are you studying? Abdullah replies, Adrusu fi kulliyatil handasati. I am studying in the faculty of engineering. Fi ayyi sanatin tadrusu. What year are you studying? Adrusu fi sanati thaniyati. I am studying in second year. Atariful muhandisa Salman. Do you know the engineer Salman? Abdullah replies, Taban. Yes, of course. Huwa ustadi. He is my teacher, my lecturer. Huwa ahsanu mudarrisin fil kulliyati. He is the best teacher in the faculty. Next page. Faisalun. Man ha'ula'il fityatu alladhi ma'aka. Who are these young men? Alladhi ma'aka, that are ma'aka. Ma'a means with, and ka is you, right? Ma'aka, with you. Who are these young men that are with you? Ka'annahum ikhwatuka. So this ka here is for comparison, all right? It says as if. Ka'annahum. So you have inna wa akhawatuha. One of the akhawat of inna is ka'anna, all right? Ka'anna. So كأنهم إخوتك. كأنهم إخوتك. It's as if they are your brothers. It's as if they are your brothers. Abdullah replies, نعم, yes. هؤلاء إخوتي. These are my brothers. Right? Remember we have هذا and هذه. هذا and هذه. Right? Which are singular. So هذا refers to masculine singular. This. هذه refers to feminine singular. This. Okay? But when we have plural, we use what? هؤلاء. For both masculine and feminine plural. Except for what? Which plural we don't use this for? Ready? For a type of noun, we don't use this for the plural. I just said we use ha'ula'i for masculine and feminine plural, except
inanimate
right.
plurals.
Naam, ahsan. So, غير عاقل, or things without sense, or in English we might say inanimate, right? The little difference here between English grammar and Arabic grammar is that غير عاقل includes even animals, animate things like animals, all right? So they will be included in this as well, right? So with sense and without sense. So without sense, once is plural, غير عاقل, without sense, we do not use هؤلاء to refer to it. What we use singular feminine pronoun, which is هذه, هذه, okay? So we have here, of course, this is referring to the brothers, right? The people. So it's akil, is with sense, right? So we use ha'ula'i. We also use ha'ula'i for the sisters because it's both for masculine and feminine, okay? So here you have, na'am, ha'ula'i ikhwati. These are my brothers. Li arba'atu ikhwatin. I have, so we have li meaning for, belonging to, all right? Then ya al-mutakallim is the person who is speaking. So for me, or I have, right? Arba'atu ikhwatin, 4 brothers. Remember, for numbers from 3 to 10, numbers from 3 to 10, we use what? We use the plural ma'dud. The thing that is counted, we have to use the plural form, okay? For the singular, of course, we use singular form. For the dual, for 2, we use the dual form. All right. 3 to 10, we use plural. Okay. From 11 onward, we use what? We use singular. Madud is singular. So if you say in 13, we would say 13. We use the singular word. So if you say ثلاثة ثلاثة كتب, right? 3 books. But if you say 13, we say ثلاثة عشر كتابا, right? So you singular. Kitab is single, right? So after 11, we use single, right? Also remember, between 3 and 10, the adad is what? Opposite gender to the ma'dud. So if the thing that is counted in the singular form, if it is masculine, then the adad or the number will be what? Feminine. All right? You all recall that, right? So that's why we have here arba'atu with a tarabut at the end to show that it is a feminine number. Why? Because the thing that is counted is what? Masculine. It is what? Akhun, which is brother, and plural of that is ikhwatun. Ikhwatun. All right? And then, of course, the opposite is true for the sisters. وَثَلَاثُ أَخَوَاتٍ. So thalathu, that number doesn't have any tarmabuta. Why? Because it is a masculine number. Because it is masculine because the thing that is counted is feminine in its singular form. All right? So Faisal asks here again, Aina yadrusu haula'i? Where are they studying? Where are they studying? So then Abdullah lists all the information about his siblings, right? He says, Amma ikhwati, as for my brothers, fakulluhum. So, fami is a conjunction, right? Meaning so or then, right? Kullu, it means all or everyone, right? In this case, we can translate it as all of them or every one of them. Doesn't make a difference, right? In this case. In some cases, kullu could mean everyone, or it could mean a group, all of, all right? Meaning either one or the other meaning, depending on the context. In this case, either one could apply, right? فَكُلُّهُمْ, every one of them, or all of them, يَدْرُسُونَ, they are studying الْجَامِعَةِ, at university. وَإِيسَى وَهُوَ أَكْبَرُ مِنِّي, Isa, and he is bigger than me. يدرس في كلية الطب, he is studying in faculty of medicine. وإبراهيم يدرس في كلية التجارة, and Ibrahim is studying in the faculty of commerce or business. وإسحاق يدرس في كلية الآداب, and Ishaq is studying in faculty of commerce. وإسماعيل يدرس في كلية العلوم, and Ismail is studying in faculty of sciences. وهؤلاء الثلاثة أصغر مني, and these three are smaller than me or younger than me. All right. وأما أخوات, as for my sisters, or as for the sisters, notice the difference here. Okay. Above he said, إخوتي, إخوتي, the yadn attributed that word to himself. Okay, my brothers, right? But here he didn't say akhawati, he said al akhawatu, the sisters, right? So they just a little exercise in describing the nouns differently. Okay, so remember, Arabic is a very precise language, so we try to understand the little differences, even though they might seem insignificant in some contexts. In other contexts, they might be significant. All right. So remember here, ikhwati, my brothers, al akhawatu, the sisters. Alif lam means the. Okay. Wa amma al akhawatu, as for the sisters, fayadrusna, so they are studying في المدرسة المتوسطة, in middle school. They are studying in middle school. Zainab تدرس في السنة الأولى. Zainab is studying in first year. All right. Remember here that female proper nouns, they do not carry tanween. Okay. So you can't say Zainabun or what's the next one? Or the other two is Maksuran, right? So, right, so Zainabu tadrusu fi sanatil ula. Right, Zainab is studying in first year. وسلمى تدرس في السنة الثانية, and Salma is studying in second year. وَلَيْلَى تدرس في السنة الثالثة, and Layla is studying in third year. Middle school. So one is first year middle school, second year middle school, and third year middle school, right? فيصل في أي مدرسة تدرس أخواتك? In what school are your sisters studying? Right? في أي in what مدرسة school in what school تدرس they are studying أخواتك your sisters. Alright? Abdullah replies يدرسن they are studying في المدرسة or sorry rather في مدرسة خالد بن الوليد. They are studying in Khalid ibn al-Walid school للبنات في مكة for girls in Makkah. Right? Another way of saying it is they are studying in Khalid ibn al-Walid girls school in Makkah. Okay? I don't know. Could be. Faisal asks, Aina taskununa antum? Where are you all living? So sakana, sin, kaf, nun, sakana. It means what? To settle, or to live, or to reside. Right? From that same word, you get sukun. Sukun means what? Sukun is where you have the joining symbol on a letter, right? So sukun means it's the opposite of haraka. Haraka means to vibrate or to move or to have a vowel in the case of letters, right? So without haraka, without movement, you have sakana, which is to be one place, no haraka, no movement, right? So when you have a sukun on a letter, means there's no haraka, there's no movement. So you just recite the letter with the join into the letter before, all right? So that's where you get the word sukun from this verb sakana, all right? So aina taskununa, antum. Where are you all living? Where are you all living? So how do you get this word sakana? How do you get from that? You get taskununa. So from sakana, which is the past tense verb, we have I'm just going to switch to the whiteboard just to break down this word a little bit, right? Take it away. Let's see. So we have sakana. Sin, kaf, nun, sakana, right? Then onto that, we are adding so you have sakana, past tense verb, then you have yaskunu. Okay. Sakana yaskunu. This is the what? This is the present tense. Okay. Sakana yaskunu. So you see the root letters there in purple. All right. Sakana yaskunu. So sakana means, as I said, to reside. Past tense. You can say he resided or he lived, past tense. The present tense of that, as we said earlier on, we add the ya at the beginning as a prefix. And you put a sukun on the first letter, right? So sakana yas kunu. Sakana yas kunu. Present tense, he resides or he lives, right? Now, this is third person here. He resides or he lives. To make it second person masculine, what do? We take out the, instead of a ya, we put what? Ta. Taskunu. You all seen that? Taskunu. So what does that mean? You, masculine, singular, live. All right? You live. Or you reside. Now, how do we make it plural? We add on right, listen. So the noun is no longer the end form because we are the end form of the noun is the middle form. Why? Because we are adding on something after it. Okay. So we'll take this off here. All right. So we have from taskunu, you have taskununa. Taskununa. So you're all seeing that, right? So if you take the root letter sa, ka, na, sakana, to reside or um, to stay or to live in that place, then you have from sakana, you get yaskunu. He resides or he stays in that place, right? And then to make it second person masculine, we say taskunu. So yaskunu, taskunu. Taskunu, that's singular. To make it plural now, we add the waw and the noon at the end, right? So you get taskununa, right? So hopefully that clears up that a little bit. Taking this off, right? Take it off here. Taskununa, right? So that's how we get that word there. So, Faisalon, aina taskununa antum. Where do you all live? Where do you all live? Now, it would have been enough just to say taskununa. Aina taskununa. Where do you all live? But to emphasize it, or to be absolutely clear, you can say antum. You all. You all. Right? It's plural. Second person, plural. So to be absolutely clear. Right? Aina taskununa antum. Where do you all live? Right? So we'll take this off now. It's present tense. Plural. Right? So moving on here, we have Abdullah is saying, Ikhwati, my brothers, yaskununa, They, so you see from taskununa, you get yaskununa. You all seen that? So taskununa, you, plural. And yaskununa, they, plural. They, okay, third person. So ikhwati yaskununa, my brothers, they stay or they reside fi mahaji'il jami'ati, in the hall of residence of the university, right? Amma ana, as for me, فأسكن مع قريب لي. As for me, فأسكن. So I stay. So you see the root there, sakana yaskunu, askunu. Ana askunu. You all see that? The fa here is just a conjunction, meaning so or then, all right? You all see that there? Fa, so or then. But the verb is actually here. Present tense verb is here, with the hamza. Askunu, askunu. I reside, okay? Ma, with, I reside with. Qariban, a relative. Qarib means close. Literally, qarib means close. But when you're talking about relations like this, it means a relative. A relative, a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, second cousin, you know, something like that, a relative. فَأَسْكُنُ مَعَ قَرِيبٍ لِي. So I am staying or residing with a relative of mine, a relative li, of mine. Okay? Faisalun, amutazawwijun anta? Are you married? Ya Abdullah. So here the is to ask a question, right? Mutazawwijun means to be married. Mutazawwijun, married. Anta, you, Ya Abdullah, O Abdullah. Are you married, O Abdullah? Abdullah replies, La, no, lastu bi mutazawwijin. I am not married. Lastu bi mutazawwijin. So the ba here makes it mutazawwijun into mutazawwijin. Because of the ba, the dhamma, tanwin dhamma changes to tanwin kasra. Okay? That's so then Faisal ask again. Ma unwanuka? Unwanun is the address. Unwanun, address. And unwanuka, your address. Your address. Abdullah asks, or Abdullah replies, Hadihi. Hadihi is this. When you're referring to something feminine. What is the feminine thing he's referring to? The bitaqatun. Bitaqatun, it is a card. Even like a business card. You could even refer to a bank card and so on, right? So here is obviously referring to like a business card where you have your name, address, phone number, email address, and so on, right? So هذه بطاقتي. بطاقتي. Right? The ya at the end attributes it to the speaker. All right. So this is my card. This is my card. فيها عنواني. In it is my address. So عنوان is address. عنواني, my address. Okay. عنوانك, your address. عنوانك, your feminine address. عنوانه, his address. عنواني, my address. Okay. Next page. Faisalun. Ashkuruka, ya akhi. Shakara is means to give thanks, right? So you say shukran. Shukran is means thanks, right? So ashkuru, I thank ka, you. I thank you. I thank you. Ya akhi, O my brother. I thank you, O my brother. Ana masrurun. I am happy. Masrurun. Ana masrurun. I am happy biliqa'ika, with meeting you or with your meeting, right? Or in English you would say with meeting you, right? Liqa' is a meeting. You know, long time the older heads will know about the liqa'. You know, used to have long time sisters liqa'. Sometimes we had brothers liqa' and so on. Is a meeting, right? So ana masrurun biliqa'ika. I am happy to meet you. أنا سأنزل في المحطة القادمة. I am disembarking, or I am coming out, right? Fil mahattatil qadimati. Anzala, so nazala means to come down, right? Anzala means to send down, okay? Anzala, to send down. Nazala is to come down. Anzala, I came down, or I descended, or I came out of, the bus, as the case might be. So here we have something being introduced here. Now, let's pause here for 2 minutes. So pause here for 1 minute, actually. We said in Arabic language, there are what? How many different types of verbs? In terms of the time, we have past tense. We have what? Present tense. And then we have command. In English, we have what? We have past tense, we have present tense, and we have future tense. And so, in English, right, so in Arabic, we don't have a future tense, separate future tense by itself. We have what? What did I just say? Past tense, present tense, and command form, the imperative. We're commanding somebody to do something, right? Or requesting somebody to do something. However, if we want to refer to something in the future, we use the present tense. We use what? The present tense. But there are particles which we can add on to the present tense to give it that future connotation, something in the future. All right, and it's two particular particles we can add on to the present tense verb to refer to the future. One of them is just the seen, as you see here. The seen here is one of the two particles we can use. The next one is sawfa. Sawfa, right? Seen and sawfa, right? We'll deal with sawfa a little later on. Here we have the seen. So the verb nazala means, as I said, to descend or to come down, or to disembark from a ride. Nazala. So you have nazala yanzilu. He descended, or he came out of the bus. All right. Yanzilu. Anzilu. I came out of the bus, or I descended. All right. So then when we add the seen to that present tense verb, we get I will descend, or I will disembark. Right? I will disembark. So that's how we have here sa anzilu. I will disembark. Right? So ana sa anzilu. Ana sa anzilu. I will disembark. Fil mahattatil qadimati. At the coming station, or at the coming bus stop. Fi means in, and al-mahatta means a station. Al-qadima, that is coming up. The station that is coming up. So we can say at the next bus stop, or the next station. So Abdullah replies, Fi amanillah, Fi amanillah, as we would say to each other, Fi amanillah, in the trust of Allah, or in the protection of Allah, wa ila liqa'i. So he's saying, well, in other words, it literally means in the protection of Allah, or he is short for making dua that I leave you in the protection of Allah, or in the hands of Allah. All right. And literally hands, amana means like trust or protection of, right? Fi amanillah, in the protection of Allah. It's a greeting the Muslims say to each other, when we depart. Wa ila liqa'i, until we meet. Until literally means until the meeting. Until what? The meeting. Or could say in English, until we meet again. Right? Till we meet again. Okay. Last line, as-sa'iqu, the driver, as-sa'iq, the driver, li Faisalin, to Faisal. So the driver is saying to who? To Faisal. هذا الباب الدخولي. This is the door of entrance. So this is the entrance door, or the door for entering. Ya akhi, oh my brother. An-nuzulu, right? The exit or the path for coming out, min hunak, is from there. Right? So huna means here and hunaka means there. Here and there. So huna and hunaka. So the driver is telling him, an-nuzulu min hunaka, that the exit is from there, from over there. Right? So any questions? Any quick questions on this passage? All right. There are no questions. And let me just explain the first two exercises here, which as usual are really comprehension exercises. So we can attempt them on our own. Yes, inshallah. So the first one, as usual, ajib anil as'ilatil atiyah, answer the following questions. And of course, these questions are based on the passage. واحد بأي جامعة يدرس عبد الله. In which university does Abdullah study? Right, so we answer by saying يدرس عبد الله بجامعة الرياض. Right, Abdullah studies at Riyadh University, or the University of Riyadh. في أي كلية يدرس هو? In what faculties does he study? يدرس عبد الله في كلية الهندسة. He is studying in Faculty of Engineering, and so on. So please attempt these questions. And the second exercise, صحيح ما يلي, correct what follows. So they give you a statement here, read it, see if it's correct or wrong, and then correct it if it is incorrect. Okay? لا يعرف عبد الله المهندس سلمان. So it's saying here that Abdullah does not know the engineer Salman. You know that's wrong, so we have to correct it and make the correct statement. All right? So we stop there today, inshallah ta'ala. We start back here next week. As usual, if anybody has any questions, please, you can let me know through WhatsApp, either directly or through the group, right? The Arabic class group. And most important is to try and read the passage again, and then you can attempt the questions. All right, if there are no comments or questions, we close off with dua fa kafara and Surah Al-Asr. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات تواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.